Is this thing on? Alright, this thing is on, and we are live in the Klacko's Talkcast, where we talk nothing but bullshit and all bullshit any time of the day, anytime I want, anytime you want. Well, not you want, but it's a me thing, you know? In the Talkcast, we talk about bullshit and whatever nuances I have and whatever went on in the world. Let's see what we have here. EVO. The fighting game competitions where people do play fighting games to compete in. EVO was fun. Menard versus Angry Bird. Angry Bird won. But in my heart, I felt like Menard could have won. You know, he had that Dominican representation. And, so, you know, he played a good Blanca. I don't know many fighting game terminologies, but I just know he played an excellent Blanca against Ken. A lot of Ken and Zero players out there making the whole FGC hate them. But it was a pretty fun experience watching all that happen. What else? I feel like I need a script, you know? But this is all script free. Fucking yeah, that was about it. I guess the new Mortal Kombat 1 trailer with Reptile. Reptile has that, you know, freakish look to him again. Well, not freakish look to him. He has a human form and a freak form. He has that MK3 fatality look. You know, when he has that giant Komodo dragon head and sticks his tongue out and just swallows up. Well, he has that look. He's more beastly instead of, you know, anemic and skinny. I think they made Reptile too skinny because he was a bit of a jobber, you know? Just skinny, weak, frail. Ah, my people! All the time, you know? But at least they made him not jobberish looking. That's what I like about Reptile. He's been way too henchman-like. So I'm glad he's not much of a henchman anymore. So, props to them giving Reptile the respect he deserves. Havoc! He looks like a zombified Jago from Killer Instinct. Instead of, you know, cult warrior monk-like. They added Serena in there. You know, you always had to get the 90s goth girl. And they had Astra. She's missing her signature hat. She doesn't have the hat anymore. I think she has one of Kung Lao's moves, but I think, you know, they removed that. Mortal Kombat looked interesting. I think Reptile looked really gnarly. Like, monstrous. Beastly. Way better than all of his other incarnations where he's just like a humanoid reptile monster. He has this whole change to his body and stuff like that. So, I guess that's pretty nice. But I'm going to main Smoke. I am a Smoke fanboy. Human Smoke fanboy. And I use Triborg Smoke. So, I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat. I'm probably not going to get it. I'm probably just going to watch, you know, those tournaments and tune in. I'm just going to wait until I have, like, a Mortal Kombat 1 XL. And that's probably it. Because if you think about it, there's going to be an XL in the next year or so. So I'm not wasting my time and just buy the game in a hurry when I could just wait. You know, just wait. Back then, you should unlock things and get that out of your system. And just, you know, do a really hard mission or something. Or find a secret part like an Armored Core. And, you know, you just do that. And speaking of Armored Core, I heard they removed the debt system of Armored Core. The debt system is what Armored Core. And if you fucked up, you can't purchase the next part. It's always about strategy and survival, but I guess they want to, you know, streamline it to more of a casual audience that's used to Dark Souls. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with the med packs either. Each Armored Core game has a different, you know, thing to it. Integral to its own thing. Armored Core 3 introduced the ranking system. Armored Core 2 didn't have a ranking system. Armored Core 2 missiles were fucking godly. Used to have like a whole grad rocket system with the vertical missiles, and it just fucking annihilated your opponent. I mean, you could beat Ares and Matthias easily, Matthias or whatever the fuck. But like, it was like that, you know. Armored Core 6 has like a railgun almost. It's not going to be as fast as Armored Core 4, but it looks definitely maneuverable. Like a butterfly-like movement. Now, 4 was on steroids with the fucking movement. And you gotta tune that shit hard and well. I'm sort of glad they removed, you know, the most OCD aspect about the game. The tuning. Because, my God, if you fucked up one part of the tuning, or you didn't have, like, a joint part, your Armored Core would screw the hell up. And that's pretty much it with, you know, like, Armored Core and stuff. Just, I think they introduced that in last Raven, but I never played the whole main line of 3. It was always the original universe. So I don't have much experience with that, but I do have experience with 4 Answer. And it's fast. I created heavy cores for 4 Answer. And if I wanted to be experimental, I'd try to make the fastest Armored Core. Sort of like, you know, a Dodge Hellcat. You could go a bagillion miles in a straight line. And Armored Core 4 Answer felt it had that, you know, Gran Turismo like car sim, but with an AC. You really had to like fix your maneuverability. Like some ACs had, you can turn right really well, but you can't turn left really well. It's all about finding the right balance. And missiles didn't really affect much. It was mostly like rifles in Armored Core 4 and cannons. Like, I'm not talking about laser cannons, but you know, like cannons that hit heavy. Armored Core 3, it's about machine guns and bazookas. Or at least that's what I got from the memo, you know? Based on the gameplay I did. It's definitely a lot more maneuverable compared to Armored Core 2. 2, you feel powerful. Whole lot of laser weaponry right there. But, yeah, EVO and Armored Core. I didn't see DBZF. DBZF, I wanted it to catch in, but, you know, I just couldn't have the time to freaking watch what I wanted to see. What else? There's a whole lot of other stuff that happened in EVO. UMVC 3. That was Zero May Cry. Even if there's new players, it will always be down to Zero, Virgil, or whoever, Magneto. They are automatically the head honchos, the machissimos of the Marvel games. It's a damn shame I couldn't catch in on fucking DBZF. But there's Under Night in Birth too. It doesn't look different from, you know, other Under Night in Births. I saw the gameplay, you know, musical changes and all that. I'm still gonna main Akatsuki in that game. I like my karate boys. I wish Slayer was in the new Guilty Gear Strive, but, you know, you gotta make do. You gotta make do with what you have, so who do I main? So, yeah, I stick with Kai because he's like the vanilla Ryu of that game. So, what can you do, right? You can't really do much about it. New Garo Mark of the Wolves. Well, not just essentially Garo, but a new Fatal Fury. Garo was always part of the... Fuck my voice. Fatal Fury. The Fatal Fury part of the games. I guess, you know, you would call Fatal Fury the main series and KOF a spin-off to that, because KOF was, you know, always a goofy spin-off of Fatal Fury. And Fatal Fury itself is the main, you know, story and franchise of the SNK genre. That's if, like, Street Fighter made a whole side thing. And that side thing became more famous than Street Fighter itself. I mean, Street Fighter used to have sides, like the Alpha series. There was like a prequel to 2 and all that stuff. To make that branch and connection. But KOF is like all gimmicky and all that stuff. So I guess the producer, what he wanted to end his own story. He wanted to finish and complete that story with Rock Howard and Terry Bogard. So this is it. This is the part where we're going to see. I want to see Kane again. Kane is pretty interesting. And who's that other dude I used? Well, let me look at the list of characters in Garo, Mark of the Wolves. I think there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to see in Garo. Just Defend was nice. The whole system with pairing and all that stuff was Garo. Not Garo from One Punch Man. Give me Garo from Garo, Mark of the Wolves. The Wolves characters. Who are the characters? Who did I use? I used Gato and KOF, but I didn't really use Gato and Gara. B. Jeanette. I think I just used Rock. Yeah, because he had some of the Aikido stuff. So we know there's Terry and Rock. And this will complete the whole Fatal Fury franchise and end it as we know it. That's like if Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was more popular than the original Tekken series. And they just stuck with the goofiness of Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Pretty much. Yeah. You know, there's... What else happened in EVO? That match between Punk and Menard was really good. I'll have to say that. That Cammy... And the way he got him trapped with Blanca. I've never seen a Blanca that good. Blanca was always the lowest of tiers unless you're playing CVS 2, where normals are king in that game. Fuck. Oh yeah, I caught in with Tekken. I didn't see the championship for Tekken. I know Arslan Ash. Wait, did Arslan Ash win? Tekken. Arslan Ash. Did he win? Yeah, he won. Arslan Ash won. Yeah, Arslan Ash won Tekken. And so did Angry Bird. Dude, the Middle East is dominating games. I'm glad that they have the chance to play because, you know, you always got to have other people from around the world to rep your country. And that's one thing that I like about EVO. So, Arslan Ash won. And who else? Who else is going to win? An Angry Bird. It's a whole domination from the Middle East. It's like in UFC when the fucking all the Brazilians won non-stop. There's going to be a dominant region in the world that's going to win fighting games. And I see it now, and I see it now, and I'll say it. The Middle East is dominating the whole fighting game community. So, what did I... So, going back... Fucking... Oh yeah, the absolute clown show and circus act of Tekken 7. Here's why I think Tekken 7 will still be, you know, better than Tekken 8. Tekken 7 has that goofiness of all those other guest characters, like fucking Noctis from Final Fantasy. And, fucking Negan! Negan was the most random fucking ad to Tekken. Yeah, I'm gonna do an instant while run and do a whiff punish with fucking Negan. You realize how that goofy that fucking sounds with Negan? Applying fighting game terminology with Negan? I'm just gonna do a Korean backdash for Negan and call it a day. Just imagine him in Guilty Gear just making cancels. And you hear Negan's voice and it's just canceling. Dude, that's like if you're adding the fucking main character from Grey's Anatomy to like Smash Brothers or Street Fighter or some shit. Yeah, my TBS character's winning a fighting game. Yeah, he's doing an instant while running. Crazy, right? We just added Negan in there because why the fuck not? Dude, seeing Negan dash dance against fucking Noctis in the Final Fantasy stage, and to think that's Tekken, it's the most fucking craziest circus act. It's the most craziest fucking clown show of all time. I think Nee played Negan, right? That matchup was the one I caught on yesterday. I didn't catch in with Tekken, but I knew when I saw Negan, I fucking laughed like crazy. So when are we gonna have, more Tekken supremacy compared to all these other guest characters flying on in? Because Geese Howard is no joke. I'm wondering if they're gonna do what they did in Tekken Tag. You know how they add all the characters from the games? I'm wondering if they're going to add Akuma to that. Because that was a little bit silly. Well, what does it mean in the Tekken canon now? Is Akuma still canon? Or is that going to be, memory hold? Yeah, there was a person, I guess. He was really strong. Tekken got way goofier from, I mean, Tekken was a little bit always goofy with the whole fucking devil shit and ogre, but at least they made it somewhat believable and serious. They got wackier with Tekken 5, and Tekken 4 was the most aesthetic of all Tekkens. Just feeling that flow, just feeling that, stance switches and all that, pushing. Tekken 4 had it. Tekken 4 had the love. Oh my god, I remember playing Tekken 4. I still have the game, but Tekken 4 was like... It felt like Tekken. If that's weird to say. Old school Tekken. Even if it was a little bit of branch off from the whole Tekken 3 mechanics. It played like it did. I'd say Tekken 5 was the one that sidetracked a little bit. It made it a little bit goofier. Yeah, man. That was some shit, man. That was some crazy shit. Now, speaking of fighting, that Jake Paul versus fucking Nate Diaz fight, I don't want to trash on anyone. I think Nate Diaz is a solid fucking fighter that, he's good with jiu-jitsu and the top game and with UFC, but I think that translation is like a language barrier that doesn't really translate well to boxing. Ben Askren got owned. Tyron Woodley got owned. It's a certain style. And all of them are old. If it makes money, it makes money. But, it's crazy. Crazy how Jake Paul hit Nate Diaz like that. I mean, I'll give it the suspension of disbelief that it's not rigged. That all that happened was real. But I think Jake Paul would make an excellent... he doesn't have to be a boxer. He could be an MMA fighter if he asked you. It's just, freak show fights like that is dominating the fight world. And speaking of freak show fights, I think if they made a Roman Coliseum fight between Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, that would be pretty interesting too. Honoring the ancient Romans and the gladiatorial battle between two billionaires. Nice. A nice touch. We need a bit more goofiness and levity from all the shit that happened, And I honor that goofiness and levity because I like jokesters. I like that shit. And I especially love seeing Negan do a Korean backdash and come in and do like juggles and combos. Weirdest thing ever, but that's what you get. You just throw your random fucking favorite TBS show in and you see them do all these weird combos and shit. And it's like, yeah, I can't let you get close. They speak like that and kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Now, man, what a day. Slow, but I think, there are days when there are negative energies and you have a positive energy, and there are days when you have the negative energy and everyone else has the positive energy. It seems to work that way for me, I guess, but I'm not, angry about it. I want to move on, You gotta push forward. Endure as hard as you can. Keep that positive energy. Let the positive energies colonize your mind. If you think I'm gonna be dropped down, have a weight thrown at me from all this negative energy and negative attitude, no, I'm not gonna drop down, sir. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna push forward. And I'm gonna mount all of my excitement, all of that positive energy I have within me, and push through all the negativity. Now, I'm no means a nice person, but you just have to have some joy for yourself, Because if you're stuck inside in your own thoughts, being negative all the time, it's not going to work out. And there needs to be a balance, a yin and yang, Because what the fuck am I gonna do to support, I'll be like, yeah, that's your energy, but I'm moving on, fuck that. Fuck what people have to say. Fuck all that shit. Focus on you. You're the fucking writer of your own story. You're the creator. Yeah, sometimes environmental factors fuck you up. And there will be moments where it will fuck you up hard. I don't believe it's life. I believe it's people. And you just gotta know how to, bend with the flow. It's like resistance training. Yeah, I'll compare this to the fucking gym. If you're trying to do a bench press and you can lift it up easily, that means you're good. You're in good hands. Even if there's a lot of shit being thrown at you, you could still bench it. Now, if the weight is heavy, it's going to be a struggle. You're going to fucking endure. But if you push that out, you're going to feel some joy. You're going to feel that little dopamine rush that you get at the end of fucking getting your PR record or some shit. That's what it seems like to me. Fuck. Because certainly there are going to be people with bitchy attitudes, angriness. And you're going to feel down on the dumps. You're going to feel like shit. They're going to feel like shit. It's going to be a negative loop of toxicity. And no one wants that. No one wants to be in a fucking web of toxicity. What you want to do is try to pursue, like the founders of this country said, pursue happiness. Happiness isn't forever. It comes in little bits. Sadness isn't forever. It comes in little bits. It's all about control. Finding that yin yang. But there are moments where your joy isn't matching. Well, if your life is fucked and you have that wrong kind of joy, that twisted sense of joy that you find, I guess that's good. But like, push forward, push what you can, do what you can, give your best effort, even if life is shit, even if there's a lot of shit thrown in your way. Give your best effort. Try. For the sake of argument, maybe if you try, nothing's going to work out on your end and you're just finding some shit. But there will be a way. There will be a fucking way that things will work out. Now, I'm not no spiritual health guru or anything like that, but it's good to have that fucking, moment of release. That sweet release for yourself. And yeah, good moments will offer bits of happiness. Bad moments will offer bad bits of happiness. But if you're happy around in a shitty situation, you can either be negative with it and it will create more conflict, deal with it, or deal with it in a positive energy, saying, fuck that. No, you gotta have that fuck you attitude. It's no use. It's no use to crumble down and let other people try to put you down. You're letting them win. Sure, maybe there will be moments where like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I am a little too fat. I need to lose the side. You need to lose the love handles a bit. You're right. I agree. I'm going to go do that. But nothing's, I get it. Maybe they want to see the best version of you. But haters are going to hate regardless, Move on. Fucking put yourself. There's maybe a kernel of truth in what they say. But you got to have, be ballsy. That goes out to anyone. Fuck the noise. Fuck the noise, honestly. Because here's what you do. If your life is out of favor, if everything's not working out, if anything is working not, everything's, fucked for you, you can only make the smallest bit of change. Smallest bit of change to, try to fucking boost yourself back up or some shit. Exactly. So, I think I shat out all the talking energy from my system. Maybe. But I want to talk. I want to still keep talking about shit. Because you got to hear yourself. You got to hear yourself fucking speak. Because if you're being a silent dunce all day, living an autopilot, from one corridor to another to drink some fucking water, then piss, then take a shit, and you don't hear the sound of your own voice. Maybe it's a bit selfish and narcissistic, but you always gotta hear yourself speak, right? There's an outlet for anything. An outlet. Oh, man. It's lovely. It's a lovely day. I like the rain. It's calming. It's very, 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 very calming. I'm just saying words now. Calming. C-A-L-I... C-A-L... Slay... C-L-A... Calm? No. C-L... C-A-M-L... Well, I'm screwing up. C-A-L-M-I-N-G. Calming. Calm. Calming. Calm. Calming. Calm. Calming. It's nice. Some fucking meditation. Yeah, let's put that meditation shit. Water drops. I fucking love water drops, right? Let's imagine that pissing feeling. Will I get a DMCA for listening to this shit? Oh, no, this is Peter B. Helland. I just want to fucking hear water drops, man. Oh, yeah, that's the shit right there. It's way too many fucking water drops, you know? Gotta find that inner fucking peace. Let's decrease the F words. Let's enjoy the experience for what it is. It's water droplets going down. Nice, smooth water droplets. Reverberating. It's way too many water. Just... like that. Like that. Oh, well, no, that's fucking copyright. So anyway, you get what I'm saying? Find calmness. Find calmness. Some calm shit. Man, I'm running out of fucking words to speak here. Oh, I guess I could talk about Baki, right? Baki anime that came out recently. Now, my favorite arc is the Pickle arc and shit. Well done. He gave a lot of character development and emotions compared to, like, the characters just dominating the fucking prisoners in the last arc. Pickle wrecked everyone. Absolutely destroyed. Gave them nothing. Gave them fucking nothing. The Jack versus Pickle fight was my favorite fight. I like Jack as a person. He keeps on pushing even though he's weak. Hey, sometimes you gotta cut corners in life. A lot of people cut corners in life. Life is a fucking game, you know? And Jack knows. So he took steroids. And he started fucking walloping Pickle. They started walloping each other and shit. Big ass, butt naked caveman, ripped with muscles, fighting another big ass dude, ripped with muscles. Most homoerotic fighting experience ever. But hey, I'm not upset. It was the most gnarliest thing, too, when he ripped his mouth out. Engorged. Started festering on the small bits of his, cheeks and shit like that. Was he butt naked when he was fighting in the manga? I guess they gave him a loincloth to censor, his pickleness. But overall, the experience was very, 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 very good. And a good fucking cardio distractor, man. I was on the elliptical machine, and that shit, I hammered it the fuck out. It's always good to lose weight. Make it a fucking journey. A lot of people are comfortable and they're in their own damn skin. It's not fun. Sometimes you get, you get like cravings for shit that you don't want. It's all the sugar and all the fucking processed shit that you ate. You didn't care about your own fucking health. Well, maybe I'm just projecting now, but have some fucking dignity for yourself. I want to see the best fucking mental image myself. The best fucking mental image of myself ever. So I'm hammering it the fuck out. Giving it my fucking all. Just like Jack Hanma. Give it your all. When it's about you and only you, and you're focusing it on you, you give yourself 100 fucking %. You give yourself the max that you need to achieve your fucking potential. It's all about that. No fucking hiccups aside, since this is about you and your journey. Well, I guess this is projection, but focus. Because in the gym, you're doing it for yourself. Not for anyone else. You're doing it for you. You're putting in the weights. You're lifting the racks. You're lifting the bars. You're duking it out with the fucking punching bag. You're maybe doing butterfly strokes in the fucking pool. Losing all the fucking water weight in the steam room. Doing that little hydro shit. Going in the fucking elliptical machine, hammering it out. Going on the car, I forgot. Man, this fucking COVID brain fog is running my fucking head. What's that word for it? Conveyor belt running thing. Cardio. Treadmill. How the fuck did I forget the word for treadmill? I swear. COVID fucked me up. That's the most brain fog moment I ever had yet. It's fucking treadmill. I can't believe I fucking forgot that word. I don't want to sound dumb here, but damn. So yeah. Hammer it the fuck out. Hammer yourself out. Do whatever you can to buff fucking everything. So judo, right? I have this fucking judo book in front of me. Now there's no way in hell I'm ever gonna pay for judo. But it's fucking interesting to look at. Knowing judokas do all that shit. Discipline. That nature of discipline. There's no sense of brutality like in the modern day MMA fighting. It's all discipline, spiritual, and, putting in your hardest effort. Uchimaras. If you got an Uchimata in, let me read this part. The Kodokan Goshin Jutsu is the newest kata. Having been created in 1956, it complements Kimi no Kata, is used composed of a number of self-defense techniques, making use of throws, arm locks, strikes, and kicks. These actual combat forms include defenses against all forms of armed or unarmed attacks. The 20 techniques incorporated in this kata are given in Table 4. It's very interesting. Now, fucking martial arts. Martial arts is what I like. I like martial arts. I did it before. I didn't like being thrown. I like talking about it, but I don't like experiencing it. I guess that makes me a bitch in some sense, but I love talking about martial arts. I like anything fighting related at this point. Fucking Armored Core, you shooting mechs at each other. Fighting games, all that. War. Ooh, I love boring grand strategy games. It's all about fighting, and fighting. A mental fucking battle. Push through. Now, which martial art with my fucking dumbass opinions is the best? Well, if you look at it in a mathematical sense, wrestling, right? That's been developed since the age of antiquity. Wrestling, slamming, it's everywhere. Wrestling's in high schools. Wrestling's fucking everywhere. And it dominates. It's like a stag beetle carrying a praying mantis and just smashing it on the floor. It's like that. Wrestling in all forms. Judo. If you're a judo wrestler and you know maybe some striking, you're fucking dominant. Now, but what about in a street... What if you were in a fucking street fight and there were multiple other people? Knives and shit. Now, your best option is to run. If you're in a one-on-one fight, wrestling, yes. And judo. Concrete and asphalt is your friend. I'm not trying to condone violence or anything like that, but I'm just... Well, maybe I am talking about martial arts, but martial arts is brutal. Well, what do you fucking expect from martial arts? If your head slams on the fucking concrete, you're out from judo. You're dead. You're pretty much dead. It's dangerous. You are a lethal weapon. I guess. It's all about you. Like, I think there was a point in time in maximum in my life that I was addicted to those online street fight videos. Because I felt like boxing and all that shit was too sterile. King of the streets. Now that's where it's fucking at. I'm reminded of like Baki and all this other shit. Shamo, all those other fucking little small mangas about fighting. King of the Streets has that brutal feeling and brutal sensation of fighting. Underground fighting. Oh, the Allow Concrete, my friend. I think it was Insanus versus Sharpshooter. Very brutal. Dutch, German, all kinds of Europeans just knocking each other the fuck out. In a brutal sport of fighting. I'm talking about blood leaking from your fucking nose. And no shits were given. Still fighting with that shit. I'm talking about heavy breathing, fighting, and other people screaming in European or German. Fighting. Brutal shit. Type of fighting that, was like street racing that could get you fucking arrested. King of the fucking streets. I got bored of sterile fighting for a bit. Sometimes I would enjoy it because, it's more tactical and there's more precision. But sometimes I get why the Romans enjoyed gladiators. I get why the Romans did all that insane shit back then. That brutality. All those bread and circuses. I get why. Now, back to the discussion of martial arts. Having myself wrestled when I was younger in like a martial arts school or some shit. I got myself manhandled. Brutally manhandled. There was no fucking kidding. No doubt about it. There's no fucking kidding at all. That kid fucking wrestled. And I got my ass handled. So if you're a wrestler, you dominate in fighting. Right? What's the statistic of UFC fights of wrestling? UFC fights wrestling. Wrestling produces the most UFC fights. This came from 2019. Wrestling produces the most UFC champions of any fighting discipline. Definitive proof that wrestling is the best martial art discipline to use as your base to become a UFC champion. There's a whole thing. With 40% of all-time belt holders UFC wrestling at their base, there's a good chance you watch. See. 28. Yeah. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Maybe some Sambo too. But like wrestling is the peak and dominant structure of fighting to have in your discipline. I'd say if you're fighting multiple people at once, then use boxing to save yourself. Yeah. It's pretty much my point, you know? It's good, maybe a good discipline to probably learn some martial art in your life. Just so people won't bully you. Bullying is, a natural form. I'd say it happens in every form of ape minds. Monkey minds, You see in macaques and shit like that. You see it in lions, you see it in wolves, you see it in any form of society. What can you do but start, to rise up for yourself? Martial arts is your friend. Never give up on it. I think I talked a fair amount of bullshit. But I want to get that hour in. I want to get those last fucking measly 10 minutes in. What the fuck can I talk about? I already talked about sadness. I already talked about meditation. I already talked about the games I like. I already talked about the fighting shit I like. But what can I provide in these last 10 fucking minutes? Food! I could talk about fucking food, right? My favorite food, your favorite food. Now take notes now. As you data mine this. Take your fucking notes. I love Chinese food. I fucking love every aspect of Chinese food. All the way from the provinces. Wait, what are the Chinese provinces again? I know there are the Uyghurs. China provinces. From Xinjiang. I've tried that. I've tried Manchurian. I tried Szechuan. I tried every bit of it. It's fantastic. The flavors melt. It's like a melting pot of flavors in your mouth. But I think there's one thing that's never talked about. One thing as only a fusion of communal subculture in my area is Latino and Chinese mixed food. Plantains with chicken wings. Like American Chinese food, you know what I mean? Pork chops, pork fried rice, and all that. It's amazing. What I think there's a place in New York, I think. There's a place somewhere down in New York where they sell that shit. But in my area, they have that Latino Chinese fusion. It's very good. I've never had having that view. I think some aspects of mixing subcultures together makes it good. Because my God, eating that kind of shit is like, an big impact. There needs to be more places that give some love to your local Chinese food stores, because they are putting in the work. They are putting in the fucking work. Ever had a chuleta with fucking pork fried rice and all that shit? Chinese fusions. Very fucking good. Now, mind you, I know the politics and all that shit about China, but I give respect to their peoples. They are putting in the work. I respect that. It's lovely. It's very nice. Pork fried rice, chicken wing, chicken fried rice with General Tso chicken. Unimaginable. I tried many places. Now, I know. You go to the gym. Well, to lose weight. But if you're thinking in terms of a fat person, well, I'm not trying to be rude or being fat. You know what I mean. Gluttonous. If you're thinking gluttony-wise, then Chinese food is the way. When you take a bite out of the yellow fat that comes from a chicken wing, it has no comparison. KFC and Popeyes does not compare to the local Chinese food joint chicken wings. That shit is crispy. That shit is sparkling. There's a nice amount of fat. I don't know what you call that flavor. Sweet? What do you call the fat on the piece of chicken? Sweet? Mixed with the crunchiness of the fried chicken? The tenderness of the chicken? Warming your mouth up? And that salt from the fried skin? That is fucking delicious. That is uncontrollably delicious. Now, mind you, some people would love, giant breading or bigger drumsticks. But that is so fucking delicious. Now let's move onwards to the ribs. Now, when they cook any style of ribs, char siu ribs or anything like that, I feel fucking... I feel like a connection, like my mind has just sparked. Like an ecstasy feeling when you bite into those fucking ribs. Whether be it boned or boneless, those spare ribs, whether they come drenched in sauce or not, are sweet and delicious. They are the most holiest ribs that you'll ever eat. Ever fucking eat. I'm surprised. It's very, very good. Now, there's a whole bit of fucking flavor combinations that you have to add with your ribs. If you're eating something gooey, like... It probably wouldn't be that good with fried rice with ribs. Maybe white rice, since white rice has more of like a complementary aspect of it that just absorbs all the gooiness of the ribs. You gotta like it. General Tso chicken can either be a hit or a miss. Some of them put too much sauce. Sometimes there's not enough chicken. Sometimes there's enough chicken. Sometimes the chicken's funky. I was never really a fan of General Tso's chicken. You know, sesame seed chicken, whatever the fuck they call it. I feel like it's a goofy caricature if I just call him General Tso, you know? But, like, I imagine a Chinese general dressed like fucking Mao giving me chicken. I think there's some love. You gotta give some love to your fucking local Chinese food spot. And man, the rices that come with it are delicately good. Either really hot or delicately good. Sometimes it has its own soy flavor to it. It's all dependent on how they cook it and how it's stylized. There's the brown fried rice. There's the golden fried rice. There's the crispy fried rice. It's all dependent through that. And that alone. It's very, how do you say, nice. What about the Ragoon? Ragoon's always good. Always the side stuff. The Chinese food menus are very large. I tried some of them out. I tried, I forgot. Sweet and sour pork is good. Sweet and sour chicken is good. The authentic Chinese food broths are good. Minced pork with, soup. That shit is very delicious. It's utterly sublime the way you taste it. It's all categorized in its own category. Now, where would I rank pizza? Pizza. Now, let's separate the distinct... Alright, let's separate chain pizzas like Domino's and Pizza Hut. What's my opinion there? Papa John's has always been too garlicky. And mushy. There's that mushy, garlicky taste. Pizza Hut changed. Tastes old now. Little Caesars has always been cheap. Just like cardboard. I don't know. But real authentic pizzas is all dependent, like I said, on the style of the person cooking it. Sometimes sometimes there's no bottom crust, and the cheese just slides off. It's very disrespectful to a pizza. Sometimes there's a bottom crust, and you give that nice crunch factor to pizza. Sometimes there's good tomatoes on a pizza that beats out, other pizzas. It's all based on what they're good at and what they're offering. What's the best pizza combination? I wouldn't say, what is the best soda you could have with a pizza? Now, if it were up to me, Sprite. Sprite is a good combination with a pizza. Dark colas, but Sprite is an excellent combination with a pizza. Yeah. Whatever. Keep giving love to your chains. You'll know when it's a bad pizza, when it's not tasting good. Or there's no love to it. Anyway, I think I've ran out of my talking fuel tank. But I have one more minute. One more fucking measly minute. I think I'll play Mother Encore sometime this month. I have to set up a schedule. Maybe. I don't know. I'm very thingy. I'm out there throwing and slinging shit around like it's nothing. I think Armored Core is the primary target. Side targets will be, whatever's beaming about with my backlog. Then an indie game. or a fan remake or some shit like that. I'll separate into those 3 categories. Main games, like the overall niche, then the backlog, like PS2 shit, and finally indie games or fan games like Mother Encore. So that way we could have more structure instead of random streams coming about. Yeah, I'm done talking. I'm done talking bullshit. You heard my nuances. If you're offended, what can I do? I'm sorry. If you're not offended and you like that, like it, hit a like or some shit. I don't know. I'm just trying to get this last bit of shilling out of my way. So, this conversation is over. Over 9,000. Wow. Good measure to talk bullshit. Get that out of your system. Have an outlet, So now we're finally done. We're finally done talking. We're finally done speaking. It was nice. I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I'm Klacko. And the Talkcast is now indeed